Hello, welcome to JustScript. As part of this video, we are going to see what are the different data types supporting by Python and how to declare variables in Python. So that we are going to see. So along with that, we are going to see how to change variable data in a particular variable what we stored it. So that we are going to see with the help of Jupyter Notebook, which we have already configured in previous videos. In case if you have not visited my videos, I will recommend you first visit the installation and how to use the Jupyter Notebook, so that will help you to understand or proceed further this video. So without wasting time, so let's get started. So I'm going to start the first our Jupyter Notebook, which we have installed as part of the previous videos. So first let me start my Jupyter Notebook. So you can start your Jupyter Notebook by typing the Jupyter space notebook and then press enter. So it will start the let me, there is a typo over here. So you can type this command Jupyter space notebook and then press enter. It will try to start Jupyter server inside your local machine, and then you can able to see the, and then you can able to see the Jupyter notebook and with the previous books what we have created it. So in case if you want to start a fresh notebook, then you can come back here, can start, select notebook, and then it will try to open the a new book with Python which is available as part of your notebook, and then select it. So now you can see your notebook, right? So that now by the video what we are trying to discuss over here. So what are the different data types which is supporting the Python? So Python support around 6 different data types which you can see over here, like numbers, sequence, mapping, types, set, a boolean, binary, and there are some none types. So all different 6 to 7 different data types it will support. So first we are going to see one data type called numeric. So let me put a different some heading. So numeric is a data type which can support different types of numbers, so that we can see with this example. So the first data type is numeric. So let me put it over here, numeric. So numeric, under numeric we can define different number related types. Example, integer x equal to 10, and this is integer, and if you want to print it you can type x here and you can display the number. And similarly if you want to display any float variable like amount, example 12.35, so this is integer which it will not take decimals, and we are not specifying the data type here, but that is the flexibility of Python. You can define the variable name and you no need to define the data type, which will understand accordingly, it will adjust it. So this is an integer and you can see the integer value, and this is a kind of float. We can use it for declare any amount, currency related values. If you want to print this one, you can type it over here and you can see the corresponding value. So this is the way you can declare the variables. And if you want to put a small comment, you can come here and type here integer, and similarly you can put over here for float. So this is the way you can declare the variable of integer type and float type, which can take non-decimal value and which will take the decimal value. So these are the two different types are possible under numeric type. One is integer and another one is float. So the next one we are going to see next different data type called a sequence type. So let me put here sequence type. So I want to treat this as a heading, so let me put this as a markdown and run it. So we need to put here hash, then it will treat as a heading. So the next data type is sequence data type. Under sequence data type we have possible different set of values which can handle strings, which can handle collection of elements, which can handle immutable ranges. So first we are going to see if you want to handle a sequence of character, so that we can give the name just prime. So what I want to do here, I want to declare a variable which can hold a sequence or more than one character strings or variable, I mean value, so that you can use as a string, multiple strings, right? So multiple characters you can combine and you can store in a single variable called name. So it can be used to declare a variable like names, address. So in that scenario you can use the string data type which can hold multiple characters in a single variable. If you want to print this one, you can come here, so you can see the variable, and this can be stored, this multi characters, using single quote also. Let me print, and you can use triple also, single character. So this is also possible, and this is the different ways you can able to assign the values using single quote, double quote, triple quote, right? So why we need this many different types of quotes, we will be seeing in the next subsequent videos. So basically this is of type string, right? So this is of string type. So the next type is a list. Is a list is ordered collection of items. Example, if you want to declare different numbers, so you can put this into the array, can put any number of types. So these are the different types of elements. If you want to put into the array sequence, that you can use it. This is a kind of list. If you want to give a label, you can give, this is a list, and if you want to print it, you can print it just by typing the number, and you can see the elements. So what is the benefit for here? So this list can be modified. Say for instance, now I want to modify the list of first index to 100, and then I want to print it. So basically you can able to modify this list. You can see here, this is the 0 index and this is the first index. The first index element I am trying to give the value is 100, and I can able to see the modified value. Whereas in the previous case, the first index is 4. Now I replace with first index to 100. So basically what I'm going to say here, this list of elements can be manipulated. I mean, we can able to modify it. So that is the advantage of list. Say for instance, now there is a requirement and you don't want to modify the elements. If in that case, what you can do, you can declare as a tuple. So how to declare that one? So this is a tuple. So tuple benefit is you can declare similar numbers, but you can use a different syntax like this, and you cannot modify this one. So let me give, this is number 2. So basically here also we are trying to declare a sequence of numbers or different it's not a sequence, you can put in different sequence also, but main thing is the list and tuple difference is, tuple you cannot manipulate the numbers. If you are trying to manipulate, so what you will be getting, we will be seeing. First let me print the values, so you can see the tuple values. Say for instance, if I am trying to manipulate the first index or second index, what will happen? You just imagine. See, you are getting an exception, you are getting an error saying that the tuple object does not support item assignment, meaning it is not supporting to change the element. So that is the basic difference between the tuple and list. List can be modified, whereas tuple cannot be modified. So this is the basic difference between the tuple and list. So based on your usage, you can select either list or tuple. So you can remove this one, and you can come back here, you can print it back. so delete this one. So this is the basic difference between the list and tuple. Tuple cannot be modified, whereas list can be modified. So this is one of the sequence data type. So the next data type we can see as a range. So what is mean by range? So range is, say for instance, now I want to declare a numbers from 1 to 10 or 10 to 20. So in that case you can use or equal to a range, and you can mention here example I want to declare a number 10 to 20. So this is the range, right? If you want to print the numbers what is there inside the range 10 to number, so then you can use here list of range, and then you can run it, so you can see the numbers. If you print directly or what will happen, it won't print the values, just print the data type as it is. If you want to see the numbers which is available inside the range, you can just type list and then you can print it and then you can see the range of values. Similarly, if you want to print 10 to 200, you can see it. So let's make it simple, 10 to 20. So this is the range usage. So range, it bounds between one range to different range. So basically we can define two different array with a range of elements which you are interested, like 10 to 20, 10 to 100, whatever. So it can store the elements and you can use it by converting the range element to the list, and then you can use it. So this is another a sequence type called range, right? So far we have seen numeric sequence. So the next third type is called mapping types. So this is very interesting and very useful. So let me put an heading. This is of third type. So here mapping type means, so far we have seen a single element. If you take it as string, multi-character, and if you take it as a list, we can see the numbers, right? So now it's one element. So now we are going to see in the mapping type, it's a collection of elements which contains a key value pair. A key value pair. Example, say for instance, if I want to declare a person, so person can have multiple features. Example, name, Kevin, and age you can give 30, country you can give India, right? So basically I'm trying to declare a variable with multiple features in the form of key value pair, right? So if you want to print this key value pair, you can copy, put it over here and run it. So basically here we are getting an error. What is the error? So this is very important. When you're declaring the variables as a key is similar data type and value is a kind of same data type. So now if you see here, key I declare without quotes, it's fine, key name, age, country, and whereas I'm trying to declare the variable value in a single quotes over here, in a single quotes over here, but whereas here there is no single quotes, so it could be the issue. So now let me run it. So let me put it and then run it. So you can see over here. So basically try to put single quote or it will take without single quote also a values it should support. So you can see over here, so basically the key should be in a single quote and the value can be anything. It could be number or string, because value can be anything, because key must be unique over here. So that's the reason key should be in a single quote, so that way it can able to understand key should not be duplicate. If you are trying to assign a duplicate key, what will happen? Let's try and explore it. Example, I am trying to give age. Again, what will happen with a different value? So let me run it. If we see over here, when I'm trying to insert a duplicate key and it's overriding the existing value and it is replacing the new value. So you can see here age I had given a 30 over here, and again I'm trying to give age 31 and it is taking the 31. So that is the advantage of mapping type. So the key cannot be duplicate. If you are trying to insert a duplicate, then it will override the existing value. So this is the advantage of key. And now, so this key values can be changed at any time. Say for instance, now if you want to change the example, a name, xxx, and try to run it. So no. Okay, this is the syntax, I guess. So this is the way you can able to modify the key. See here what I'm trying to do over here. I'm taking the key. With the help of key, I can able to modify the corresponding value. If let me print it. Now we can see it's not updating. Yes, so this is the syntax. You can use it over here. You can use the person and then inside the key, so you can assign the a new value and it will override the corresponding value. So this is the way you can use the mapping type. And so in the mapping type, the key must be unique, right? If you are trying to assign same key, it will override it. So in this kind of mapping, you can able to change the value at any time. In case if you don't want to change the value once you assigned and you don't want to change it, so in that case you can go for frozen set. Frozen. So there's a different type which is available inside the set. So as part of the mapping, you can able to modify the map by taking the key, right? And you can assign the new value. It will modify your entire map and you can able to see the modified data, right? So the next fourth data type we can see called set. So set, so far here, right? So we can see here is a key value pair. Now I want to prepare a list which should not take any duplicate value. So in that case you can go for a set. Set is a list of elements which you, it can be unordered but it should be unique value. It could be unordered and but it should be unique value. So let me declare a my set equal to, so basically here what we are trying to do here we are trying to define a set and which it should take unique values, okay? So let me print it. So you can see over here, so this is the way you can able to declare a set unordered elements or collection of unordered elements which can be unique items. Say for instance, if I want to, if I duplicate a particular element, what will happen? So if you see here, when I'm trying to duplicate a particular element as a 2, so then it is not taking the duplicate element, but here it is not a key value pair, it's a single element, whereas in case of mapping type, we can see a key value pair and key cannot be duplicated, whereas in case of set, a single element that cannot be repeated. If you're trying to repeat, it will try to remove the duplicate element. So this is the way you can use the set. But whereas in case of set, you can able to modify it. Example, I want to modify my first index to something different. So that is possible only in case of list. So in case if you want to add it over here, you can use it, add something, and then run, and then you can use it over here. So here basically to add an element we have to use the add method, whereas in case of list, what we have seen in the previous, you can use the indexing. So that's the basic difference between the list and set. So set, if you want to modify, you can use add, and then you can append the element. In case if you try to give the duplicate, you can see it won't take. So let me run it. So basically when you're trying to add duplicate, it will eliminate. So that's the basic use case of set. Say for instance, now we are modifying the set by using the add element. Example, if you don't want to allow to modify your set element, so then there is another data type called frozen set. Frozen set, you can declare a variables. Example, repeat the same element and then print it. So basically what it's trying to do over here, so here also we have to put the, so this is the syntax. So you can define frozen set and inside as usual your set and then run it. So this is the syntax, frozen set, you have to use it, and inside that you can put your as usual set elements. And here what I'm trying to do over here, I am trying to give the duplicate element, so it's not taking it. So this is one of the feature of set, it won't take the duplicate, right? So another major feature is, say for instance, if I'm trying to add one of the element, what will happen? Just verify it. So you are getting an error saying that frozen object has no attribute, meaning so you cannot modify this frozen set. So whereas a normal set you can modify by calling the add. So this is the basic difference between the a normal set and frozen set. Frozen set is immutable, whereas a set is mutable, right? So it won't allow the adding or manipulation of your elements, but it will allow the another feature as duplicates. It won't take any duplicates. If you see over here 4, I tried to give 2 times, but it is taking only 1 time. So this is one of the a data type called set. So the next data type we'll be seeing as a boolean. So this is very useful. So which can be useful in case of declaring the a boolean data types, so true or false. So in this case you can use this a boolean. So how to declare? Is raining, you can use true. So basically I'm trying to declare a boolean variable true or false. In that case you can use the this kind of variable, but we no need to declare any data type. Based on the value, the data type will be defined on the fly and it will assign it. So that is the beauty of Python. So we are not declaring the data type in a real base, but based on the data it will assign the data type internally and it will use it. Similarly, if you want to declare another variable called cloudy, and you can give as a false, and you want to print it, you can print it. So this is the beauty of Python. So you no need to declare a data type, but based on the value you are trying to assign, accordingly it will adjust the data type, right? So this is the a boolean data type, which can be useful to declare true or false. So the next data type what we are going to see is a binary, which can be useful to when you are trying to interact with ASCII values. Okay, so binary mainly useful when you are trying to declare a binary, a kind of variable. And here also we have two kind of types. It's mutable and one is immutable. First we are going to see mutable, which can be manipulated. Example, binary data equal to, so the syntax here you have to put the bytes and single quotes, can give anything, and then if you want to print it, can keep it over here, and this can be manipulated. So mutable, say for instance now I want to modify this one first index to ASCII value as 67 or 68, and then run it. Let me run it. Let me run it again. So basically here it is immutable, and then we had to give the so basically the default, so what you say, so the default byte array is immutable, so you cannot change it. In case if you want to change the this kind of if you want to allow this kind of manipulation, then you have to declare a different byte array called data equal to byte array, and then you can declare the similar kind of context. So by default basically you cannot modify the byte array what you have declared. In case if you want to modify or if you want to manipulate, then you have to declare a mutable byte array in this way. So that is the basic difference between the default byte array and the mutable byte array. Now let me print this one, so I can able to see the my byte array. So the now the basic difference between the first one and the second one is, see here or here, so here it's not allowing any manipulation, right? So let me perform similar manipulation on this byte array. We can check it out what will have. So now I am using the second byte array. I am trying to assign or manipulate one of the index. So here it's allowing, so the default is immutable, whereas if you want mutable thing, then you can use the byte array, so that can be modified it. And see here what I am trying to here, I am trying to assign 68 the corresponding ASCII value for a D, and D is replaced over here. But whereas here the original value you can see over here Z. So basically index base, and the assignment is here ASCII value. So when you are dealing with binary data ASCII value, so then you can go for this kind of byte array. It's very useful. So here also we have mutable, immutable. This is a kind of immutable. So whereas this one mutable. So that is the basic difference between. So this one is immutable. When you are trying to modify this one, you will be getting this array, whereas byte array it's a mutable. You can modify at any time. So you can see the output. So this is the one of the binary data which can contain two different types, mutable and immutable. So now the last one we can see over here, none type. So what is this none type? Sometimes when you are declaring the variable, if there is no value to assign, it's not a byte, integer, float, string, char, anything. You don't know what is the data type. You don't know what is the value. So here basically mainly based on the value, so the Python will calculate the data type based on the value, right? What kind of value you are assigning, based on the value, it will define the type. So but you don't know the value, that we cannot assign any type to the value. So in that case you can define a type called none. So basically none is not any value. So in this case Python don't know what is the type, so in this case you can use the none type. So let me put it over here first, heading part, and then come back here, run it over here, and if you want to print it you can use it. So this is the way you can print it. So none, basically if you don't know the value, what is the data, it's not integer, float, double, so in this case you can use it none type and it will assign the corresponding value. So these are the different data type which can supported by Python. One is numeric, sequence type, mapping type, set, boolean, binary, none type. I think that's all about this video. If you like the video, you can subscribe the channel for more subsequent updates, and thank you so much.